Super Mario Odyssey is only a month away. Everybody is so excited, and we're starting to get a clearer picture for how the game works, what the structure of Super Mario Odyssey is like. There's been some more recent footage of things like the Seaside Kingdom, the Cap Kingdom, and the Luncheon Kingdom released from people getting special access, and people are more excited than ever because it feels so good to be playing the game in these new environments, and people are loving it. But I just want to give you guys our take from Switchforce on what the structure is like and answer a few more questions that have been lingering about based on some evidence from these more recent reveal trailers and gameplay sessions. So I want to start off with the linear progression of this game. A lot of people compare it to Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Sunshine, but to me it looks like this game has a more linear progression than those games. We can see on the overworld map, the zoomed out outer space view, that you are going from one point to the next, almost like a Super Mario World or Super Mario Galaxy type track, that golden track of taking you from point A to point B. And in this one it shows you going from the Cap Kingdom to the Cascade Kingdom, then on to the Sand Kingdom, it looks like. And I wonder if this ever branches off, or is it just that you complete the certain number of objectives and you get a certain number of moons in one kingdom, and then you move on to the next one that is already pre-designated. Because in Super Mario 64 and Sunshine, once you got a certain number of stars or shine sprites, you kind of choose which level you wanted to go into next. There was multiple doors with the same number of stars required to enter them in Super Mario 64, so you could kind of take your pick of which ones you want to tackle first, and if you got stuck on one, you go to another. But this map seems to be more linear, where you are just going from one kingdom to the next, and obviously you can go backwards, we're all assuming, and to go collect the moons that you have not gotten, or the extra moons, just to kind of bulk up your overall mass and try to collect them all. But is it just you need to collect a certain amount and then move on to the next one and the next one, and you don't really have a choice of where you're going except when you want to go backwards, and you're always just going from point A to point B and don't have a choice of which kind of direction you want to explore the world? That seems to be what it is so far. They haven't shown any branching off like in Super Mario Galaxy where you have some choice, but only time will tell when the game is actually released and we see that full map, and we see if we get options of which kingdom we want to explore next, or if it's just a single line that we have to follow and we can go backwards, but we cannot choose which way that line will branch off. Another thing I want to talk about is something that people, at least here at Switchforce, have been very curious about since sort of the beginning, and that is the sort of day-night cycle changing of the kingdoms. There's been a lot of theories about this, including there are multiple locations within each kingdom. For example, the Metro Kingdom has the daytime, where that's kind of the main area that they've shown off at treehouses, and people have played in the demos, and you're just in the city central, and you're helping Pauline, you're finding the musicians, things like that, climbing towers. But then there's also the night cycle where you're fighting the Mecha Wiggler, and there's also kind of the evening festival time where Pauline is singing and putting on that festival, and that may just be a cutscene, that may not be a playable area. But there's definitely a nighttime area where you fight the Mecha Wiggler, and there's a daytime area where you're exploring everything else. And we've seen this in other areas, and there's some evidence of what I'm pretty sure is the way that this is going to happen. It is not going to be a separate area. It is not going to be kind of over time, I don't think. I think it is based off of the main mission moons, the main objective moons that they say, here's the one and then here's the next one. And we've seen that it can open up new areas once you complete, beat this boss or complete this moon objective. Then the next area or a part of that kingdom will open up. This has kind of been shown with the Luncheon Kingdom. You defeat one of the Brutals, and then another area of the Luncheon Kingdom, the main proper of the Luncheon Kingdom of Mountain Volbono, is opened up for you to explore. So I think this is how the day-night cycle is going to work as well. So for example, if you collect all the members for Pauline's band and then you go talk to her, perhaps then the festival takes place, and then the Mecha, and then it transitions to the night, and the Mecha Wiggler comes, and you need to fight the Mecha Wiggler. Or perhaps you get there and the Mecha Wiggler's already taken over the town, and you need to defeat him for it to restore energy to the town, and then it switches to the day cycle. But there is some solid evidence for this, and that is in the reveal trailer of the most recent Direct, where they showed a lot of new things about Super Mario Odyssey, including Mario without his shirt on and no shoes and no gloves. But they also showed the Seaside Kingdom and bubbling. And in the first parts of the show, it is daytime, it is bright, and there is a giant octopus, purple octopus, sitting on top of this big kind of bottle structure, and he's drinking out the delicious seawater that has a carbonation to it, they say. And as you can see in the picture as well, there are these Bowser chains and Bowser caps over these rocks, and they're kind of curious. And then later on, there in the trailer, the reveal, there is footage of Mario running on the beach at what looks like a sunset or sunrise, probably sunset time period and lighting. And again, this is kind of a day-night cycle shift. But if you look at this sunset area, there is, well, you can't see the top of it, so we don't know that 100% that the purple giant octopus is gone, but probably is gone because the bottle is full, and before, when he was there, he was drinking it and the bottle level was very minimal, and now the bottle is full with water, and those capped off rocks are geysers and shooting out water and look like they're refilling that bottle. So most likely that purple octopus is gone, and we do know from people playing in this area that purple big octopus is a boss, a mini boss that you have to defeat. So if you defeat the purple octopus mini boss, then perhaps it'll transition into this sunset landscape, and maybe some more moons and opportunities will open up. Maybe those guys will allow you to get to the top of the bottle and there's a moon up there or something like that. But I think that's some pretty good evidence to show that the day-night cycle is based off of you completing certain objectives or beating certain bosses, which is an objective, to progress through that kingdom and get more moons and open up new areas and unlock new things to do. So I think that's kind of how the day-night cycle works, and I think that that makes sense, and I think that's a good choice. The next thing I want to talk about is something that we've been talking about forever, and that is the number of kingdoms, but I just want to give you a quick little rundown and some new information that we have gotten. To start off, I'm going to give you something I think that is new information, and it's not 100% confirmed, but I'm pretty sure this is how it's going to work. I don't think the Cap Kingdom has any moons. I think that it is completely moon free, and it is a tutorial world where you meet Cappy, you cap a frog, and you move on. Because I've heard people say who have played the behind closed doors, sort of more recent gameplay sessions. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but not a huge spoiler. But they say that you don't get your Cap ship there. You don't get the Odyssey there because Bowser's come and destroyed all of the Cap Kingdoms, all of Bonneton's airships, the Hat airships. So none of them are operational there. But Cappy says that there is a operational one in the next kingdom over, which according to the outer space map is what I'm going to call it, this world view, it looks like it's the Cascade Kingdom. So your goal is just to travel from the Cap Kingdom to the next kingdom to get the Odyssey, and then you start exploring. And the whole point of collecting power moons in the story, the lore of Super Mario Odyssey, is to power your Odyssey Cap ship, because they kind of get broken down into that golden moon goop and power the Odyssey to get you to the next kingdom. So if you don't even have the Odyssey in the Cap Kingdom and you're traveling to the next kingdom over in order to get the Odyssey, then why would you need power moons in the Cap Kingdom? And from the footage we've seen of people playing the Cap Kingdom, it does not have those moon circle outlines in the top left corner indicating how many you need to get to the next kingdom. So I don't think the Cap Kingdom has any moons, which the reason I'm bringing this up is because we can kind of go through and see what kingdoms have been confirmed and what color moons they have, and then see how many more kingdoms we may actually get. So I'm just going to throw this on the screen. Go through really quickly. All the confirmed kingdoms we know are Cap, Cascade, Wooded, Sand, Metro, Tropical, Luncheon, Seaside, Lake, Snow, and Mushroom kingdoms. Now, we know that, I'm pretty sure, the Cap Kingdom has none. Cascade Kingdom has gold golden moons, and I know a lot of people have said yellow and it's the same as the tropical moons, but if you look here at some of these images, first of all, the brutal grandma or brutal mother with the golden chain chomp has a grand moon around her neck, a triple threat 3-pack of those power moons that you get for defeating boss around her neck, and they look pretty darn golden to me, and she has a golden chain chomp. And then there's also this still image from a GIF from the Super Mario Odyssey Twitter account, where it shows a chain chomp busting down a rock barrier to reveal a moon in the Cascade Kingdom. And it looks pretty yellow, but if you compare it to the yellow moon shown in the Tropical Kingdom, this one has much more of a glow to it, much more of a shine to it, and I think that the lighting could just be a little bit different, but I think it looks more golden, more shimmery than the more flat yellow from the Tropical Kingdom. So I think Cascade has gold. Then the Wooded has indigo or deep blue, whatever you want to call it. Sand Kingdom has lime green, light green. Metro has bronze. Tropical has yellow. Luncheon has cyan or light blue. Seaside has purple/violet. And then we have the Lake, Snow, and Mushroom Kingdoms to fill with colors as well. And some other colors that they could fill in that are kind of main colors that wouldn't be too weird, because they've already kind of doubled up on the blues, and they're going into metallics as well, not just base colors. So we could have red, we could have pink, dark green, white, black, gray or silver color, orange. There's a lot of possibilities. It's about 7 more colors that I can come up with off the top of my head, and there's 3 more kingdoms that we have to attribute some colored moon to: Lake, Snow, and Mushroom Kingdom. But there's still an opportunity for at least like 4 more kingdoms if they wanted to. And perhaps the moon is another kingdom, and that'll have black moons or silver moons or white moons or something like that. But there's a possibility that there could be a few more kingdoms, which is exciting. And I know there's been some territories on the map that people are still like, that kind of looks like it's something specific, and it could be another island kingdom, perhaps like the tropical islands that have been revealed later on. And they said that they're not going to reveal everything, which they did not reveal anything about the Lake Kingdom and not show any footage on it, or the Mushroom Kingdom, but I feel like there's more than just those 2 coming in Super Mario Odyssey, which is super exciting. And moving on from that, we're talking about the Mushroom Kingdom and what kind of moons it's going to have, what color moons it's going to have. I want to talk about the pictures that have been seen in both the direct reveal trailer, or it's kind of extended trailer, and the gameplay that has been more recent in the Luncheon Kingdom. And again, this is kind of a little bit of a spoiler, so cover your ears for the next like 30 seconds to a minute if you don't want to hear it. But it's nothing too groundbreaking, it's mostly just a theory that I have. Initially, so the 2 that we've seen are in the Sand Kingdom, on the back of a pillar, kind of a ruined pillar, is a picture of the Metro Kingdom, and Mario jumps into it, and that's it. And that's from the direct reveal extended trailer. And then the other one that we've seen from gameplay is a picture of, this is the spoiler, of the Mushroom Kingdom in the Luncheon Kingdom. So initially when I saw the extended trailer from the direct, I thought that it was like a fast travel point. But that wouldn't really make sense. Why would you have just one specific fast travel point from one kingdom to another? Because I doubt every kingdom has a picture of every other kingdom, or every kingdom that you can go back to. And we don't know, judging based on the map layout, it looks like the Mushroom Kingdom should be at the end and not at the beginning, because we know you start in the Cap Kingdom. So going from the Luncheon Kingdom all the way, jumping forward to the Metro Kingdom, or to the Mushroom Kingdom, doesn't really make a lot of sense. Although they are kind of close, so maybe that's just the next one over. And maybe Sand, well, Sand I think should jump to Wooded or Lake before it gets to Metro. So I think what it is, instead of a fast travel point, because you can always run back to your Odyssey and travel, assuming on the overmap to wherever you want to, whatever other kingdom you want to explore, and backtrack to. So that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Why would they just do one specific picture? But I think what it is I think it's going to be like a special level based in the other kingdom that you can't access directly from that kingdom. So if you're in the Sand Kingdom, you find this picture, you jump into it. I don't know whether the moon will be attributed to the Sand Kingdom or to the Metro Kingdom, but I think it'll just be like a small area in the Metro Kingdom that you can get a specific power moon for, and then you jump back into the Sand Kingdom where you initially entered the picture. And I think this is akin to the Cappy-less platforming levels that we've seen also, where you throw, there's these doors where you throw Cappy on a mannequin, he stays there, you go in as just Mario without your Cap special ability, and there's a platforming level to collect a power moon, which is very much similar to the platforming levels in Super Mario Sunshine, where you lost Flood and you just had to do all the jumping on your own and didn't have that extra special ability in the Flood, and here you don't have the extra special ability in Cappy. So I think this is again just another kind of special level to take you out of the current kingdom that you're in and transfer you to a specific area, and you complete a specific challenge to get a power moon. That's how I think these pictures that are very much similar to Super Mario 64 pictures will work. And that's just my opinion, but I think that makes the most sense from what information and what we've seen so far. And then the final thing I wanted to just mention is, the more I think about it and the more we've seen about the moon being in that outer space map view, being the power moons, talking about the moon, it's shown in every kind of gameplay footage of each kingdom. When they revealed the new kingdoms, they had the moon in the background. So the moon could be or most likely, is a final destination. Whether it's just the final battle with Bowser's on the moon or it's a whole kingdom, I'm not really sure. I know at one point I said there was Martians, and Martians are from Mars technically, but there could be moon creatures is what I meant. There has to be some inhabitants there. That would be an interesting experience to explore the kingdom at the moon as a kingdom. And see what kind of colored moons it has. Or if it doesn't need colored moons because it's the final destination, well, I guess you need power moons to get back to Earth. That'd be important for Mario. But I think that the moon will be a playable location, whether it's just for a final boss or to explore and collect moons or challenges on the surface of the moon. Mario with anti-gravity jumping would be pretty sweet. But that is just my take about what Super Mario Odyssey will be like in terms of structure and how you will play through it, how you will progress through it. There's still some other unanswered questions I have, like these white hats with the question marks on them that are floating in the Cascade Kingdom. And they could just be tutorials, kind of like you throw Cappy at it and then it tells you how to use Cappy in different ways, because this is the presumably the second kingdom that you are in. First is Cap, and then you move over to Cascade, so they could just be tutorial blocks, because they are kind of at a height where Mario could jump into them or throw Cappy at them. But there are some other curious things that we do not know 100% for sure, and that is why Super Mario Odyssey is so exciting, because there is so much information out there, and they keep revealing new stuff, but there is still so much undiscovered that we need to explore for ourselves and have our own Odyssey journey. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video detailing a little bit more of the structure of Super Mario Odyssey, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. It's just been too long. I've made too many theory videos, too many detailed analysis videos, and now I just want to play Super Mario Odyssey for myself. Make sure you comment down below what you think, sort of any of the questions that we talked about, the linear progression, if it'll branch off, colored moons, how many more kingdoms are going to have, what you think the pictures do, all that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, Switch Force out.